Hey, Ryrikin here, and yeah, you can see this early today. Hey, it's summer. I got kids, and we got to do. I got to do what I got to do. Got to enjoy the summer with the kids, and but yeah, I'm gonna let me just share this quick story with you. I got a couple of stories I want to share, but I'm going to share this one first. It's so like that when I share a Wikipedia story, you guys understand what I'm talking about, um, especially with well, I don't know if I can show the whole story, but yeah, that's what I figure is going to happen. Might be under a paywall, but if it's not, because it says here premium. Wikipedia co-founder warns Wikipedia is more one-sided than ever. And it says here Larry Sanger, co-founder of Wikipedia, warned that the online encyclopedia is more one-sided than ever in light of the website's entries of Black Lives Matter, the 2020 election, former President Donald Trump's two impeachments, and the other contentious topics. Sanger, in particular, took issue with some Wikipedia entries as sources. In short, with few exceptions, only globalist, progressive, mainstream sources and sources friendly to globalist progressive progressivism are permitted, he wrote in an article on his website. Several centrist news outlets like the Daily Telegraph, the Wall Street Journal, and the Weekly Standard are sometimes allowed to be sourced, he said, but Wikipedia editors are careful to never leave the current Overton window of progressive thought. And I think I've showed this, did this a while ago. I need to do like a nice presentation of my little graph here, about the Overton window, where for the people who don't know about it, maybe I'll just do you know what? Maybe I'll just do a video about it one day, just on itself. But basically, it's saying that here's the, like I say, here's the over to window, here's the left, here's the right. Well, on yours, it'll be this is the left, this is the right. So let's do it that way. So what's going is, if this is the center here, it starts to shift left over time, and right now it's like and anything to the right of there, it's they consider that fascism. you know Socialist fascism is socialism, so just a different form. But anyways, so that's about Wikipedia. So whenever I say that, I'm using their own sources, and when I use like CNN, MSNBC, Wikipedia, or ABC, NBC, it's all left wing. It's all left wing media. But in light of the left wing media and what they don't cover, what they selectively omit from the national media, is because it hurts their positions. So here, in light of that, here's an article from. Here's an article from. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I had my ringer on. Um, it goes here: three scandals you're not hearing about. And yeah, so this is three scandals you're hearing from, not hearing from the Biden administration. And let's start from the beginning. Joe Biden reportedly met with Hunter Biden's business partners. You know what? Before I keep going with this, um, you got to understand that the media, they have, everyone has their biases, but this is stuff that, you only hear. Let's say you only occasionally hear about it on Fox News. You won't hear about it on any of the other mainstream sites. So, okay, well, let's begin. So we'll start here. Joe Biden reportedly met with Hunter Biden's business partners, and this is a story that was denied during the presidential run. It was the whole thing with the New York Post being blocked. But yeah, It goes, emails and photographs retrieved from Hunter Biden's laptop appear to show that then Vice President Joe Biden met repeatedly with his son's business associates, raising issues of influence peddling. A photograph shows that the then sitting Vice President meeting with Hunter and two business associates, Carlos Slim and Jeff Cooper, on November 19th, 2015. And you got to remember, in the story, according to Joe Biden's defense was that he didn't know anything about his son's business. But meanwhile, he's there, taking pictures with his son's business partners, and it's not the only one. I mean, so it goes here. This would be at least the second meeting Biden allegedly attended with his son's foreign business connections, while Vice President. The Daily Wire's Ryan Saavedra reported. Joe Biden reportedly met his son's business associates with Ukraine, Russia, and Kazakhstan at a dinner in Washington, D.C., April 16th, 2015. So the Biden's campaign officially denied the Burisma-linked meeting, saying, "We have reviewed Joe Biden's official schedules from the time, and no meeting as alleged by the New York Post ever took place." The Washington Post, citing a White House official with knowledge of Biden's schedule, reported in June that the vice president dropped by to speak with Alex Carlotis, a longtime friend who was at the event. But anyways, so there's one story. The scandal plaguing first brother, Fast Jimmy Biden. Remember, just want to remind you all the stories about Eric and Don Jr. and Ivanka, all those stories about the Trump organization, all those stories were always on the news. Here's something about Biden's brother, and nothing. It's become a national tradition for Democrat presidents to have shady brothers, from Billy Carter to Roger Clinton to Ted Kennedy. But each of these figures caused their siblings far greater media embarrassment, with fewer scandals than first brother James Biden. The 46th president's younger brother has raised the practice of grift to a fine art. After taking over a global investing firm in 2006, Jim Biden told the company's brass, "Don't worry about investors. We got people all around the world who want to invest in Joe Biden," Political reported, citing a company executive. James Biden made it clear he viewed the fund as a way to take money from rich foreigners who could could not legally give money to his older brother or his campaign account. So yeah, you can see I'm gonna link to this article in the description so you can read it for yourself. Now, here's the funny thing. This is the last scandal that they touch, and it calls about nepotism in the Biden administration. Now, here's the difference between how the nepotism is going. In the Trump administration, they accused him of nepotism because of his son-in-law working in the administration, and his wife and his daughter, and Trump's daughter. And sometimes, like, the sons would help out, and no, I don't think the sons were official helping out with stuff, but it was Ivanka, and I know Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, Ivanka's husband. But it goes, say the Biden administration is also a family affair when it comes to appointments. High-level Biden appointees secured the hiring of numerous family members, according to the Washington Post, left-wing source. Little-known Biden aide Steve Ricchetti serves as a prime example, with 3 of his children serving in the executive branch. Political reported on June 14th that J.J. Ricchetti will be a special assistant in the Office of Legislative Affairs. His sister, Shannon Ricchetti, who is a deputy associate director for the White House social secretary, and one of his brothers, Daniel Ricchetti, who is a senior. Of the problem, JJ's record of accomplishments consists primarily of graduating from college last year, wrote Walter Schaub Jr. in the Washington Post. Thanks to apparent family favoritism, the Treasury Department will lack the ideas and experiences that someone with a different background and probably better qualifications would have brought the job. In years to come, the nation may miss out on individual contributions as yet another Ricchetti heir follows a predestined trajectory through the halls of power. It goes here, the Donnellan family, or Ricetti's, has company. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has three relatives serving in the Biden administration. Brother Tom Sullivan is the State Department's Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. Sister-in-law Rose Sullivan, Tom's wife, is HHS Acting Assistant Secretary for Legislation. Jake's wife, Maggie Goodland, serves as counsel to Attorney General Merrick Garland. The Donald, okay. And you can see here White House spokesperson Jen Psaki's sister, Stephanie Psaki, has been hired as HHS senior advisor on human rights and gender equality. So you can see it's, you know, they do it more subtle. Like, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, his brother, Jared Kushner and Ivanka working in there, but here's, you know, the family connections between, you know, you get one person in a high position and they'll put their relatives in lower positions. It happens all the time, but they used to make such a big deal about, you know, Ivanka and Jared Kushner, especially Jared Kushner. But he did a great job in getting the peace accords, the Abraham peace accords. So here, that's the major stories between those are the three scandals that they're not covering the mainstream news, and it's not surprising. Um, and you know, one of my favorite topics I got to talk about is here. More than 5,000 woke teachers signed pledge to teach CRT regardless of the law, and I must say it was uh, it's not a surprise. All the teachers unions and everything like that lean left. So um, this is stuff that we, you know, we have to fight this on the local level. There's nothing that we could do nationally on this. If you want to beat CRT, you got to beat CRTs in the school boards and in the classrooms. If there's teachers that are teaching this stuff to our kids, we need to fire them and get different teachers. You know, the minute you see that teachers teaching this stuff, if you know, teaching, um, you know, has nothing to do about history. Don't get it twisted. They want to make it seem. I'm gonna leave it there because it's the last thing we'll talk about. Um, don't get it twisted and make them think it's about teaching. No, it has nothing to do about teaching history. When they're teaching about, you know, the white people are oppressors and people of color are oppressed. Look, listen, I'm, you know, I don't want my daughter to learn that she's a victim. I want her to be a victor. At the end of the day, I want her to be a strong Latina. That's it. You know, uh, and at the end of the day, teaching this stuff is just teaching a mentality to our children that they're oppressed, they're weak when we're not. You know, so just remember that when you're hearing, you know, when you hear from your kids what they're learning in school, listen for those keywords, you know, that will tell you, oh, they're teaching them CRT. It has nothing to do about learning about the negative aspects of our history, which is stuff that we should be taught. Same thing with the positive stuff. But at the end of the day, we need to fight back against that. And like I've been saying. So, anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys have a great day. And, you know, remember, you can follow me. I'm on, you, if you're watching this on YouTube, I also post it on Rumble. And you can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Parler, Telegram. And that's it. Have a good one, everyone. I'm out.